I'm what you would probably call a non-technical person, so I'll do my best. But essentially what we're looking at is actually just screenshots. Essentially this is still very much an idea. The idea is essentially, if you can imagine, has anyone been on Zillow.com? Played around a little bit. So,
louder.
I'll do my best. So if you've heard of, if you've ever been to Zillow, essentially Zillow is a website where you can see property values, or so-called zestimates, of their best guess at what your house is worth. And while the site itself is of somewhat dubious value in the actual estimates they come up with, what's undeniable is that if you're in real estate at all, guaranteed you've got this saved right on your desktop, because it's the first stop you go to when you're, going to ask a client, well, what neighborhood are you interested in? And, what's your budget? What can you afford? What do you, number of bedrooms, square footage, yard size. There's a lot of very good information, as well as their so-called zestimate to at least get you in the ballpark. So imagine, if you would, a Zillow for home energy ratings. So a little background on this. I'm a general contractor. My company, Boston Green Building, does deep energy retrofits for National Grid, their pilot program. Essentially, we're taking 100-year-old homes and dragging them kicking and screaming back to zero energy, or something very close to zero energy, which, if anyone has done any kind of work in the trades, you can probably appreciate that that's no easy task. My sort of, I guess, frustration on a very high level with all that is that there seems to be at every turn a roadblock to actually making this real and making real market transformation happen. And so that's what gave birth to this idea of essentially making an MPG rating for homes. So it's similar to what you have had for the past 30 or 40 years with the automobile. We've essentially never had with homes. It does exist now. It's called a HERS rating. It works in reverse. So a home with a high HERS rating, I don't know if anyone can read this, but something north of 100 is worse than a code-built house, a house built to current building code. A number lower than that is a much better house. It's pretty simple. If you're a zero, you're a zero energy home. Your home makes as much energy with, say, rooftop solar as the energy it consumes. They cancel each other out. So it's a fairly simple number scale. Our idea was to literally just map this and allow, next slide please, allow our user to click into this interface and be able to manipulate both their HERS rating and time as these homes become more valuable. And an algorithm in our engine would essentially take the Zillow's estimate pulled from their API. It would calculate the total increase in your property value and show you what it's actually worth for you to do these upgrades. From there, you would click a little deeper into the UI. You'd see how we arrived at those calculations, and you'd be able to actually play with components where you could dial up and down your window efficiency rating, your wall thicknesses, your efficiency rating of your boiler, and so on through all your components. Release the mouse, what pops up? Hey, boilers are on sale at the Home Depot. Hey, windows. So you're getting very targeted clicks to our advertisers who would essentially be our customers. So we get users and customers. And that's basically the idea. Any questions? Sure.
So the energy rating, that's the HERS rating? And that is included in the Zillow API?
The Zillow API would just give us essentially what you've probably already seen, square footage, number of bedrooms, age of the home, and from there we can kind of back into a very high level, very rough estimate of what your HERS rating would be. We would actually allow the interface allow our users to upload a HERS rating if they've actually had one done. So right now, Energy Star, for any homes built in this state, new homes built, they actually require a HERS rating be done to establish a baseline and then be tested.
So it's for the homeowner itself because you can't guarantee the accuracy, so you're not necessarily put on the map.
In our map, exactly, this would just be, you know, that sort of would be kind of tiered. So our guesstimate or zestimate of your energy would be the very lowest grade. The next rating up would allow a thing called the green button, where you could actually connect your utility bills to our engine, and we would calculate a much more accurate HERS rating. And then the highest tier would be a real HERS rating that you would upload, done by a certified HERS rater. The idea is to essentially play kind of on the natural sort of competitive human nature of, you know, basically if you see that you have a HERS 150 and your neighbor has a HERS 40, you know, you're like, oh, you know, I don't think that's true. So it's going to kind of compel the homeowner to want to either A, prove that it's wrong, or hopefully B, if it is actually accurate, then they're going to want to actually upgrade their home and realize this benefit.
Sorry,
Go for it.
is there an alternative to this right now? So if I'm doing a renovation, or if I wanted a new boiler, is there an alternative to see how much energy I'll actually be saving versus the first?
Sure. There's actually a really good site now. It's called MyEnergy.com. That is not a map, but what it does allow you to do is to upload your energy consumption data for the last 12 months, which again through the green button is actually very easy to do. And then it rates you relative to some other homes in your neighborhood. So it doesn't really have the same pull. It's not a map. And it's just really a bar graph showing you, you know, hey, Joe consumed this much, and Mary's this much, and you know, you stuck your way over here. So, or you're exemplary and you're way up here. So our early adopters would be those people who have done serious retrofit work to their home and want to make a big deal out of it and be on this map. And then sort of would grade down from there. Essentially the map would self-propagate over time as more homes are retrofitted, more new homes are built, more people actually want to be seen and get this benefit and show that they're actually a more valuable home.
How close is that value to sale prices that you guys are seeing it, do you know? Or?
Well, so this is this estimate. This is pulled right from the Zillow 8.
No, not their estimates. I mean like actual sales. So once the house sells, then this estimate stays the same. But you're saying that house is actually worth $54,000 more. I mean, how do you?
It's not total BS, actually.
Yeah.
This came from a very large sample group. It's kind of BS. So we start with a BS estimate,
Yeah.
and we're applying more BS, but there's been a few pretty notable studies. UCLA did a huge study of 1.6 million homes up and down the West Coast, and they actually showed that homes that had a green rating of some kind, which pretty much all the green ratings require pretty rigorous energy consumption or low energy consumption. So anyway, so all those homes on average were about 9% over their so-called comps. So you know, a 3,000 square foot house done to this green rating versus the 3,000 square foot house right next door that's conventionally built. They found to bring about a 9% premium. There's one other kind of interesting thing they call the pre-use effect, where they actually also tracked pre-use ownership and on a cluster chart, and those homes that had the highest value placed on green ratings also seem to correlate to the highest pre-use ownership.
So what is FIRST stand?
Oh, I'm sorry, sure. HERS is Home Energy Rating System. It's kind of a bogus acronym. It's HERS, not HIS. Home Energy Rating System. Again, this has been around for a while. 2006 was when it was actually codified and required for homes that or states that have adopted the International Energy Code Convention. And in Massachusetts, we now have something called the Stretch Energy Code that requires a HERS rating on all new construction. All right, thank you, MapMyEnergy.
Join Boston New Technology Meetup. Sponsor an event or venue. Present your idea and attend to network with Boston's brightest. Details are at www.bostonnewtech.org and in the video description.